Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have told you that this program is live and it is being streamed on all social media platforms. As a result of that, I will now invite my colleague Malan Yahya Umar of FRCN to please come and read out the social media web addresses where you can follow as we progress in this program. Yahya Umar.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of KATSINA State, Barrister Ibrahim Shema, FNIM, CON Sarkin Yakin Elsa, Atta Oja of Igala, ably represented by able Deputy Governor Barrister Abdullahi Garam Paskari, the Honorable Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku, the President, National Women's Society of Nigeria, ably represented here, the Chairman of our great party here in KATSINA State, other distinguished personalities at the high table, members of the State Executive Council here present, the Caretaker Committee Chairman of the 34 local government areas, the indigenous Nigerians living here in KATSINA, my friends, gentlemen of the press, the social media organizations here, other distinguished personalities, and all other protocols observed and respected. The Honorable Minister, sir, we want to sincerely welcome you to this August gathering where KATSINA State indigents and other Nigerians here present will be given an opportunity to ask questions on government policies and programs in KATSINA State. This National Good Governance Tour has really provided an opportunity for all Nigerians to be able to know the various achievements recorded in Nigeria from the last 13 years. I believe this is a welcome development. This will definitely augur well for Nigeria and will assist in our democratic process. Honorable Minister, sir, you have gone around KATSINA State in the last 3 days. You have seen the achievements so far recorded in the area of education, agriculture, on youth empowerment, and a lot of others. So I believe this will definitely provide a clear picture on what the KATSINA State government has done under the able leadership of His Excellency, our Executive Governor. To the gentlemen of the press that are here, from the various media organizations, I believe you have gone around and witnessed the quite number of achievements recorded in KATSINA State. I hope you will continue to project the good image of KATSINA State wherever you may find yourself. Honorable Minister, sir, the achievements so far recorded in KATSINA State under the able leadership of His Excellency, our Executive Governor, was as a result of commitment, seriousness, transparency, and above all, prudence in management of resources. I want to assure you that the places so far visited has clearly indicated the achievement recorded in all areas of human endeavor. And I hope this will continue to be in Katsina State, inshallah. But the achievement recorded, Honorable Minister Sir, is as a result of the dynamic leadership of Katsina State. I want everybody to note that it is only in Katsina State, in Nigeria, where we have Executive Governor, a lawyer, the Deputy Governor, a lawyer, the Secretary of the Government of the State, a lawyer, which I believe this has tremendously assisted in achieving this great development in Katsina State. And also, I want people to know that each of these three distinguished Katsina State indigents, the Executive Governor, the Deputy Governor, as well as the Secretary to the Government of the State, were both Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Katsina State before getting this high place of office in Katsina State. So I believe with this, good people of Katsina State steering the leadership will continue to have what we expect to receive from good governance. Honorable Minister Sir, the task I was asked to do is to welcome each and everyone here for this very, very important gathering where people of Katsina State will are provided with an opportunity to ask questions, to say their mind on the various achievements so far recorded in Katsina State. So I welcome each and every one of you here, and I hope we shall have the time in providing our minds to the various developmental achievements recorded here in the state. And this, finally, Honorable Minister, I want to say that a lot of Nigerians criticize this National Good Governance Tour. But I want to bring to the notice of all Nigerians, this Good Governance Tour is an eye-opener for Nigerians to know exactly what is happening as far as democratic dispensation is concerned across each and every corner of this nation. So people making their own criticisms is good on infrastructure development, education, agriculture, youth empowerment, and so forth and so on. So finally, I thank everybody and wish everybody will continue to provide his own quota in the development of Katsina State and Nigeria at large. Thank you, and God bless.
Some people to come and give their objective comments and views as to what they have seen on ground during the inspection. So as a result of that, we will now begin by inviting the NUJ President, in the person of Mohammed Garba, to please come forward and make his own comments and observations. Mohammed Garba.
This man is tall, he can't be bending.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor by the Deputy Governor, our own Minister, the Honorable Minister of Information, the Speaker of Katsina State House of Assembly, respected members of the High Table that are here with us, my dear colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by thanking God the Almighty for completing a successful tour of Katsina State And I want to believe that by this program, we are gradually concluding this tour. And incidentally, Katsina State is the third state we have so far visited in the Northwest. Your Excellency, going by the concept of the Good Governance Tour, we are privileged to have inspected quite a number of projects ranging from the three tiers of government, the local government, state level, as well as the federal level. And for some of our members, especially the members of the Good Governance team who have not been to this part of the country, their perception, probably because of the low level of internally generated revenue in this part of the country, in the north in general, and of course the low federal government grant and allocation that is being given to most of the states in the north. So they tend to believe that there wouldn't be much progress. We will not see quite a number of projects, probably like we saw in other parts of the country, particularly in the South and the Southeast. But let me say, Your Excellency, that to the surprise of some of these guys who have this conception, what we saw in the three states we have so far visited is quite encouraging, and we are indeed convinced that democracy is indeed striving even here in the north. In fact, the dividends of democracy is very visible here in Katsina, going by the number of projects which we have inspected. We started the inspection of the rural electrification project, the water scheme, agriculture, education, housing, roads, health, and human empowerment programs, among others. Your Excellency, the good news here is that most of the projects that we have inspected, or some of the projects that we have inspected, are projects that has been inherited by this administration. And to our surprise, within the shortest possible time, the government of Katsina State was able to complete and deliver these projects. Typical example of this, Your Excellency, is on the area of education. And I think it is pertinent to mention here the Umar Musa Yar'Adua University. This is a university within 18 months we were made to understand that His Excellency the Executive Governor was able to complete the first phase of the structure and ensure the immediate takeoff of this university. And from the briefs of the Vice Chancellor and going by the projects which we saw at the university, I want to believe that the Umar Musa Yar'Adua University is not only one of the best universities, state-owned universities in the country, but rather is one university that can compete with other federal universities in Nigeria today. We are also happy with the passion of His Excellency in the areas of education. We saw the structure he put in place at the primary and secondary education, the provision of infrastructural materials, and of course, conducive atmosphere. These, as far as we are concerned, are policies and programs that will achieve quality education and ensure teaching, learning process that will be successful to the teeming population of Katsina State. I therefore want to use this opportunity to most sincerely commend His Excellency for this initiative. Another area which I think is worth mentioning is in the area of women empowerment program. In fact, we were really impressed with what we saw at the Youth Craft Village and the Women Development Center. Especially at this material time where it has been proved beyond reasonable doubt that government and private sector cannot accommodate the increasing number of our unemployed youths in Nigeria today. Therefore, we tend to believe that there is no better initiative than what we saw here for the government to ensure that quite a number of our youths from all the local governments were sent to this village and centers. At the end of their training, they are likely to be self-employed. And I think that is what is needed in Nigeria today. I therefore want to also commend His Excellency for this. We also saw the quality of roads that were constructed both within and almost in all the local government areas in Katsina, particularly the dualization of the roads at the local government level, supported by solar lighting system. We had the privilege of visiting about 19 states, as you are aware, and most of what we saw at the local government level were feeder roads. But here in Katsina, we saw quite a number of dualized roads, and I think it is a very, very good policy that will ensure easy access to the people of this state. Your Excellency, we are also happy with the housing program of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of this state. We saw the number of houses that were constructed at the local government level, especially the 30 housing programs that we have in all the local governments. We saw the structures that were put in place, shops, the security for the police, and quite a number of things that were made for the benefit of the people of this local government. So I think it is a very, very good policy, because most of these houses, going by the briefs we received from the Honorable Commissioner that is in charge of that ministry, the cost of the housing, as far as we are concerned, is quite affordable for the low-income earners in Katsina State. So I think it is quite commendable. We are also happy with in the area of health sector, which we also saw here in Katsina. We went to Tour Eradua Hospital here in Katsina. We were briefed about the free medical initiative of His Excellency. We are also happy with what we saw at the Orthopedics Hospital, and I want to believe that the Orthopedics Hospital is the first in this part of the country, and in terms of structure, architectural design, and environment, I think is to stand the test of time. So I want to also commend His Excellency for this initiative. We also saw quite a number of projects ranging from the government house, the stadium, among other projects that have been initiated by this administration. Our only appeal and concern is that there is need for us and of course the government to ensure that they maintain the culture of sustainability, because most of the projects that we have, they are fine projects. Government has spent billions of naira to construct edifices for the benefit of the people of this country. But unfortunately, because we lack the maintenance culture, in most cases within 3-4 years, you realize that most of the structure you put in place has been destroyed. Therefore, I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to His Excellency that the issue of maintenance of culture and sustainability has to be enhanced for the people of this state to properly utilize all the structures that we saw. So in general, I want to believe that His Excellency has done very, very well. He has initiated policies and programs that will further enhance our democracy. We had to address in Nigeria today is in the area of education. So I want to believe that this university is fast growing ahead of other 9 universities that have been established in the area of student population, academic program, and infrastructural facilities. So I want to believe that if we continue to sustain the level of development in our democracy as it is today, in the next 10 years or so, I want to believe that we will not be thinking of the problem or the challenge of power. We will not be thinking of sending our children to school in abroad. We will not be thinking of sending our patients for medical treatment in abroad, among others. So I want to use this opportunity to commend most sincerely Mr. President and the Executive Governor of KATSINA State for initiating laudable programs that will further sustain our democracy in Nigeria. And then lastly, I would also like to use this opportunity to commend our own minister for initiating the Good Governance Tour. I want to assure Your Excellency that despite the criticisms, I strongly believe that the Good Governance Tour is really progressing. Nigerians are gradually being enlightened, and what we are doing actually is to ensure that we enhance our democracy and we show to the Nigerians the level of development which we have achieved in our democracy in Nigeria today. For my colleagues who are in the media industry, as I always emphasize, this is an opportunity for us to utilize the Good Governance Tour by discharging our social responsibility as enshrined in the Constitution and as expected by the people of this country. I want you to report what you saw objectively and with high sense of professionalism. So with these very few remarks, I want to once more thank His Excellency the Executive Governor of KATSINA State and all members of the local organizing committee of this Good Governance Tour. I want to assure you that we enjoyed every bit of our interaction. We have came, we've learned, and we have shared notes. We met quite a number of friends like minds, and we have discussed issues that will further ensure peace and progress in Nigeria. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you.
Presented by the Deputy Governor, the Honorable Minister of Information. Let me stand on the existing protocol. Here we came to KATSINA State. We saw so many projects. Roads scattered all over the cities and southern districts, standard roads, new government house, a very enviable university, state-owned university, with the state-of-the-art equipment, the orthopedic hospital. We also saw various housing projects. Of note is the stadium that is under construction, a very beautiful stadium. Also, the housing estate across the 34 local governments in KATSINA State, and a host of other very good projects. I want to say that the 6-year administration of this governor, Governor Shema, has been very, very fruitful and has brought dividends of democracy to the people of KATSINA State. But I want to call the attention of the governor to some areas where I believe there can be improvement. For example, let the governor sustain the empowerment of women and the youth. It's very, very important for him to do this, and let there be also some concentration in the KATSINA city, maybe the old city, because I had the opportunity of going out at night and also in the afternoon. I think there should be some concerted effort to make sure that our area is made very, very clean. But I want to commend the governor in a particular area. That is the area of non-interference in local government funds, as reported by the Speaker, House of Assembly. This is very, very commendable and something that's not common to the states in this country. Also, at the local government level, we saw housing projects embarked by various local governments, and I want to mention the utility vehicles provided by Daura local government. I think this is very, very commendable, and I also want to implore the governor to democratize the local government, that is holding the election of local government on time, so that democracy can be everywhere. I want to appeal to the governor to do this one as quickly as possible. At the federal level, we saw so many beautiful projects. The road leading from KATSINA to Daura to Niger Republic is very, very good. Also various dams at Sapke, Shobe, and Jibia. Very good projects. The windmills project at the Federal College of Education, Federal Medical Center. Also the project at the National Library. All these projects are very wonderful and very, very good. I want to suggest that because in the course of this tour, one can appreciate the level of poverty in the northern part of the country. And I want to believe that the only area, the only sector that can be worked upon to reduce the level of poverty is the area of agriculture. Therefore, I want to appeal to the federal government to expedite action on those dams. If those dams are completed on time, if they are provided with the state-of-the-art equipment, I want to believe that the level of poverty will be highly reduced. The situation of Sobe Dam is not encouraging. It has been abandoned for years. I appreciate the present government for making attempts at revamping even the Sapke Dam, and what they have put in place at Jibia. That of Jibia is a very good example. But I want the federal government to work more on these dams so that the issue of poverty can be reduced through the agriculture. Finally, Your Excellency, I want to believe that governors in this country should be exchanging ideas. Coming down to KATSINA, many governors will see a lot of things to learn. The attempt of the governor to build a new government house through interests that are generated from funds that are put in the bank but not borrowing is very commendable, and I think we should be able to commend this. By and large, I want to thank the Honorable Minister of Information. Of course, I will not say he should continue. He's a very, very courageous person. He has a very good vision. The effort of this tour is to make sure that we let people know that democracy is working. Every governor, short time, Nigeria will be a place for the entire world to visit. What we suffered under the military was so terrible, and I want to repeat that those that short-changed and short-timed the democracy in 1966 and 1983, may God forgive them. Thank you very much.
I beg to stand on the existing protocol already established. The past speakers have spoken, and they have spoken well. I want to appreciate, first and most importantly, the reception accorded us by the people and government of Katsina State at the border. When we came in, we were received with all love and kindness. Food and water was ready for us. That shows that the people of Katsina State are great men and women. We thank you very much. I also want to use this opportunity and thank Her Excellency, who stood and nailed to see that every one of us receive a package of fruits, water again and drinks. That also is very commendable. She is truly a mother to emulate. Your Excellency, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, like the past speakers have spoken, we went around Katsina State and we saw a lot of projects executed by the state and the local governments. We saw, for the first time I'm seeing anyway, I don't know about others, that houses are being constructed by local governments for people and workers to have where they will stay. The issue of accommodation in the nation is being tackled by the federal government to see that at least we have places where we can stay to ease us from doing our day-to-day activities, whether civil servants, whether businessmen or politicians. But what I saw in Katsina is quite commendable. We saw a lot of projects on health, irrigation, agriculture, roads, fishery, poultry, many things. And the most touching, we went to the Women Development Center, where we saw quite a number of beautiful things. In fact, I'm very sure the minister had to touch on some of these things he saw because they are made, handmade, and by our own people. And he saw it and he said, why don't we patronize from here? And he did, and we all did. That was quite commendable. We were also told there that the women in agriculture in Katsina State are not being left behind. They are being supported by the Office of the Governor and Government, as well as the Office of the First Lady, to see that they have about 150 associations benefiting from that program of women farmers. And that is saying that we are eradicating poverty and hunger in our homes. Because when you take care of the women, you take care of wives, you take care of sisters and grandmothers and sisters, which is what we want in this country. That is quite good. I saw the stadium and I was overwhelmed. It was quite a gigantic structure, very beautiful, good initiative, which will bring sporting activities to Nigeria and Katsina State, which is in the northern part of the country. You know, sometimes I fear we have a governor here in Katsina who is very visionary. You know, he has quality in his taste and he has quality in the rule of governance. And I think, I said, when after the structure is finished and completed, I'm sure we all have a cause to celebrate. Who takes over from the governor of Katsina? Will he be able to maintain and have the same quality and taste? All the structures we see in Katsina. I am calling on the good people, on Nigerians, to see the need for us to have that culture, maintenance culture, so that all these viable projects we see today shall be benefited by generations to come. I thank the minister for the opportunity to be on this tour. That women are carried along on this team means the transformation agenda of Mr. President is on. We thank Mr. President, we thank the governor and government of Nigeria for all they are doing to see that Nigeria has become a better place. It is left for us, Nigeria, to appreciate and say thank you and do those things that are right, that will continue to make Nigeria a place of investment. Thank you very much for listening.
So, Ibrahim Shehu Chairman, represented by the Ebu, Deputy Governor of Katsina State, the Honorable Minister of Information. Please, because of want of time, let me stand on the existing protocol. But please let me especially recognize our Commissioner for Women Affairs and other women in the entourage. Women of Katsina State, women of Nigeria seated, I salute you all. Indeed, we are in Katsina State. And I want to tell the good people of Katsina State that sometime so many years ago, a son was produced in Katsina State. A son that believes in accountability, a son that is passionate to humanity, a son that is focused, a son that believes in continuity, a son that has managed the account of the state government of Katsina State. And today, Katsina State are enjoying dividend of democracy, courtesy of the executive governor of Katsina State. Indeed, for the past 3 days, we've been around, courtesy of Honorable Minister for Information and here, who unveiled the Nigerian women opportunity to be part of good governance team in order to tell the world in every aspect where our son, because we believe that the mother of all these children, the governors, the ministers, or whoever, are Nigerian women. And today, we have seen the education sector of Katsina State. Indeed, the free education, the medical is free in Katsina. Honestly, we are glad that all this dividend of democracy was being provided. We have gone to the Umaru Musa University. The university is situated in a green environment, mixed up with healthy environment. And I want to assure the good people of Katsina that the understanding of knowledge and the assimilation of knowledge is there already, because the university is wonderful. The accreditation so far done by the governor of the state to ensure that the law faculty and the faculty of medicine is being accredited, while other universities are still battling for accreditation. We can see that the governor is a performer and he has performed well. Honestly, I want to talk about the empowerment of the women and youth in Katsina State. We have been in the Youth Craft Center, where virtually almost all the raw materials used in the dualization and the decoration of the road in Katsina is being done by the youth of Katsina. We saw the pole. When we entered, we thought that we are in Dubai, but this actually Katsina is a Dubai in Nigeria. What do I have to say? Where will I stop? Will I start to congratulate Her Excellency, the amiable governor's wife, who has put in place the sickle cell center free of charge, child and maternal care free of charge, pediatrics free of charge, all for women of Katsina State. I want to believe that the difference is clear. We have come with the women of Nigeria. We have seen, we have heard, in all and all, we are satisfied with what we saw on ground. Thank you.
Presented by the Deputy Governor. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Information, Mr. Labram Maku, permit me also to stand on the existing protocol. I will have to start by confessing that a very good friend of mine, who incidentally is a commissioner in the present administration, that is Manir Ibrahim Talba, had over the years been informing me about the tremendous and changes that are taking place here in Katsina, and it was when we got here that I really saw, and I had to personally talk to Manir Ibrahim Talba and thank him for giving me this good information. I must say I'm encouraged. Like has been said by my colleagues, we have seen good road networks, well-designed educational policies and projects, and indeed acceptable healthcare delivery system in place, good and excellent security arrangement, which I must also commend the Katsina State government for putting that in place. I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility, knowing fully well what has happened in the past years, particularly in Danja local government and in some part of the Puntua senatorial zone, when there were challenges at the very beginning of the security challenges in the country. I must commend the effort of the good people of Katsina State and the government of Katsina State government for putting this security arrangement in place. Thank you. Now, when we went round, we were taken to the stadium. At the stadium, I was also impressed. Courtesy of the Minister of Information, I had the opportunity of also touring some other states. And when we were at River State, and we were taking down the new River State Stadium and Sport Complex, I was thinking there is no state in the country that will near or even, compare itself with what we saw there. But seeing just the stadium in place, I must commend the effort of the Katsina State government, knowing fully well that it was an abandoned project that is now to be completed. Having said so, I don't want to dwell onto other areas that we have noted and have visited on this inspection too. I will just make my solid and candid recommendation. I noted that even though there are good youth empowerment projects in place, particularly at the craft center, there is also the problem of youth restiveness in terms of Banga. I also noted that there is a very serious problem of, migration of labor, which to some extent we read in the newspapers about 10, 12 and more youths died in a motor accident on their way elsewhere in search of greener pastures, in search of economic, in search of jobs. And I want to say that looking at the state government agricultural projects, looking at the state government economic projects, there is the need for the government to actually mainstream this youth empowerment project in the area of job generation and youth empowerment. What do I mean by what I'm saying? I'm saying that getting individuals to partner with government in the area of cooperatives, in the area of job generations, in the area of even the revival of the cottage industries. This is where we will have to curtail the drift of labor and as such minimize the instances of premature death on our streets. Secondly, like the Ratau president have said, I have also had the opportunity of going around. And I want to say that, and I'm saying it categorically, there is the need for an improvement in the area of sanitary waste disposal management. What we saw in the GRA was different from what I saw in the old city. And I think there is the need for an improvement in that area by the state government. Equally, is the issue of potable water. We have seen the various dams, and I must commend the effort of the state government to showcase the number of projects that are lying idle by the federal government, and also its own effort to ensure that the idea of providing sanitary and good potable water to the citizens of the state is listed. But however, I noted particularly in Dusuma, where we went to, there was an appeal by the Vice Chancellor about the crisis of water, even though a dam is about to be rehabilitated. So also in the city of KATSINA, I know that also that there is a problem and shortage of water. And I think without water, there is no life. And there is the need, therefore, having expended so much and invested so much in the area of education, in the area of health, in the area of security, the state government should be able to do more than it's doing now by providing sanitary and hygienic conditions, particularly the provision of potable water for the citizens of the state. I am so moved to say that since the year 1981, when the Zobe Dam was commissioned, the federal government has also folded its arm and allowed that dam to more or less rot away. It is a shame. It is indeed a shame that such a giant project will be allowed to lie low. I think the state government, for whatever reason, should partner with the federal government to ensure that those advantages that we saw can be well harnessed. Thank you very much. I wish you safe delivery.
Ably represented by the Deputy Governor of the state, Honorable Minister, also permit me to join the train in maintaining the protocol that has been established. And without repeating all the good things that have been said, because we have seen it all, I want to say that one of the best things that has happened to this initiative of the Honorable Minister is that it has made a state like KATSINA State to now realize that it is underreporting its activities. Because it is amazing that we all come to KATSINA, we hear on the pages of the papers, but nobody has realized the extent to which the governor has been working. So we have seen one of the good reasons why this governance program is very good. Since about 20 years ago, we tell you the transformation we have seen in women. Women in KATSINA State now have a voice to discuss issues that affect them, to participate in reflecting on these problems, and to provide solution to it. An example of it was what we saw yesterday under the leadership of the Honorable Commissioner, and most importantly, the First Lady of KATSINA State. Let me quickly give you one example that we all have overlooked. It is only in KATSINA State that we have 34 female supervisory councillors in Nigeria. What are we talking about? It means that KATSINA State is one of those states that has targeted the 30% and beyond. We're talking about women in leadership. This is really, really commendable. Now I challenge these 34 supervisory councillors. You have heard what one of the presenters has said. The city is dirty, and we know women to be in charge of cleanliness. Can I challenge you that by the time we come back to KATSINA State, there will be no difference between the GRA and the rural setup in KATSINA? All of this is the initiative of the First Lady. Another thing I want to add my voice on is the peace mission that Her Excellency takes. Like the Honorable Minister said yesterday, we need peace in this country. And we have been told that the First Lady, together with the women, are going around to preach on peace. They are working in partnership with the whole of Katsina State government. Can I please, with a very soft voice, call on the media that are part of this team to replicate this initiative so that we can hear it. This initiative of working with the media, if we translate this and use media, we'll be able to open up avenues to other areas. So please, we invite media to join in this crusade of providing peace to the communities, peace in our country, peace everywhere. We are all peace-loving people. We pray that God Almighty will continue to uplift Katsina State. I have had the opportunity of working in various states in the country, and I don't need to pronounce it what my judgment is. Thank you very much. We wish you all the best.
The Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Barrister Abdullah Garba Faskari, and the good people of Katsina State, I say to you, Salam Alaikum. The state of Katsina actually prides itself on being the state of hospitality. Having been here for a few days, I would say that I agree with them. But in addition, I think Katsina State should actually also be called the state of modernity. Katsina State that I have seen in the 3 days that I've been here is a state of new age, a state of new thinking, fused with the classical times. Gone were those days that countries and states always pride themselves on arms and armories. What I've seen in Katsina is a state that prides itself on human capital development and taking its comparative advantage forward. In the case of Katsina, what I saw is the culture of embracing the solar energy throughout the state, a new innovation in the country that is welcoming. What I saw also is the new culture, which I think all states in Nigeria needs to embrace. The practice of completing and continuing past projects of past administrations and carrying on into laudable existence. Also, I saw in Katsina that they are forward-thinking. The state of encroachment in the north, they are tackling it on and on. They have started with the tree planting idea of the green world of the country. I commend Katsina for this. The Youth Craft Center is another thing on my mind because I'm very passionate about the youth of Nigeria and about the youth of the northern states of Nigeria. You keep hearing about 9,500 youth of the northern parts of Nigeria roaming the streets and more. But I think that there is hope with what I saw at the Youth Craft Center. But what I would like to say is that even when we have a Youth Craft Center, a skills acquisition center for our young ones, it is also very important that we patronize their goods and services in Nigeria. We must encourage made in Nigerian products. We must use them as a priority of first choice. If we don't do that, then maybe we are not tackling the issue of unemployment and youth unrestiveness in the nation. Lastly, I want to commend the efforts of the First Lady of the state. She has done an ICT development in the state, and they've continued to support the idea of education. Education will continue to be an essential. It is not a fad. On this note, I just want to congratulate the people of Katsina for your forward-thinkingness, and I hope that the rest of the country can learn more from you. Thank you.
to put their government on their toes, that we can have what we are seeing today. I salute you, great people of KATSINA State. May I also recognize the chief servant of the people of KATSINA State, the governor of KATSINA State, ably represented by his deputy. May I also recognize the honorable minister who has his background from the civil society of Nigeria, and of course, who is doing a great work to see that we have good governance in Nigeria. Having said that, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. KATSINA State essentially is a project in progress. My colleagues here have highlighted what we have all seen. But I know we could do more, we could do better. Essentially, I think the good governance tour itself is an attempt to ensure that governments work in Nigeria. Because the concept is such that you have the media put their searchlight on government work, and also the people of various states have the opportunity to interact with their government. So therefore, I must commend this initiative to ensure that there is an interaction between the people of a state and their government. Let me also state that it is important for us as government to enlist the support and interest of the people of various communities in our project. It is very important that projects and programs are driven by communities and the people, such that such program can become popular. If you don't have the people involved in formulation and implementation of projects and programs, such projects and programs does not have the chance of being sustainable. And so I am making this point as a critical point for development, sustainable development in our country. We have seen what government has done here in KATSINA. Government has tried its best within scarce resources to put up projects. Essentially, government needs to do some of the things that we have seen here. Good roads, that is why we have government, schools, medical services, etc. But because in Nigeria today, what we have in government is stealing, that is why we must commend those who are working. And I want to take this opportunity to commend what we have seen done in KATSINA State by the government of KATSINA State. We from the civil society do not have the culture of praising government, because we know a lot of rot that is going on in the country. We fought for this democracy with our blood and our life, and to that extent, we are ready at any point to canvass the interest of the Nigerian people, such that this place can be habitable for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, great people of KATSINA State, I want us in this state to continue to apply pressure on our elected representative. It is important, because if we don't do that, we have the Boko Haram phenomenon that is everywhere today. It is out of irresponsible leadership, overtime, and bad governance. But we thank God today that we have this concept that will help us to collectively drive government. And so therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it is our task to hold our government accountable and to ensure that government do what they are supposed to do. I thank you very much.